showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Styling and profiling. Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fambase Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the Apex man, Mr. Mikey. What's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? Happy Monday.
Yeah, man. Happy Monday. And joining us.
Yeah, we got the man himself.
Is Mr. Justice. What's going on,
Justice? Mr. Fambase himself.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Fambase man. I should have done that. And the Fambase man.
Am I the Fambase man? Wow.
I don't know. Are you? I think
I didn't see. He said the man himself. I'm like, am I the man himself? I don't know.
You are. You're everywhere, brother.
Styling and profiling back there. You got your got the nice pictures behind you with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. Little Frank Sinatra.
I'm digging it. So, hey, guys, tonight is the night that we've been planning for. Guys, by the way, everyone in the chat, I appreciate you guys coming in. Scott, Hendog, what is up? By the way, this is a 5-part series, guys. So, listen, I hope your guy, whoever your favorite player is, I hope he made the list. What's up, Hendog? And, like I said, tonight is 100 through 76. So, this was voted on by Buffalo Fambase. So, this is a Fambase top 100 list. So, some players we may agree on, may not agree on where they land on this list. But overall, they are on the top 100. So we all agreed on that for the most part. So are we ready, guys, to start this list, man?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, and real quick, one shout out that I do got to do. And Mikey, you want to do that shout out to where actually how this got started?
Yeah. So when Tommy came to me with this idea, I loved it. So I went out and started researching, the top 100, and I found an article from South Sports over at the Chronicle, and he put this out. And so what we did is we took his list, because there's a lot of guys on here from back in the day, the AFL days, that I wasn't alive for, that I didn't know much about.
He did this in 2019, Mikey. So
he did it back in 2019.
It's kind of older. Yeah.
Yep, he did. So check out his article if you ever want to look it up. It's a fantastic article. I read it. But it started there. So we looked at his list. We were able to edit and do a lot of things. But we want to shout out Sal for all his hard work that actually helped us bring this to YouTube. Yeah,
100%. So just a heads up on that article. It's an older article, 2019, but it gives you a little bit more insight. But we came up with the idea, we wanted to do more of a video type of thing and up to date. So it's just 2022 now. Some players are mixed around on this list, but it was a good starting point to kind of see where he kind of felt like players should be. And we just kind of rearranged our own type of list, came up with our own ideas for this whole, video that you guys are watching now. And this will be a 5-part series, like I said. So
it was a group effort as
well. Yeah, a group thing. This took, guys, a lot of effort, put into this by the whole fan base. Justice, Jake Jordan, Mookie Hawkins, obviously Mikey, me, just a lot of people were involved with this, Robin Mundy. So I want to say thank you. If I'm missing your name, I apologize. Jason also helped out a little bit too as well. So like I said, if I missed your name, I'm sorry, but I love you guys. So I appreciate all the hard work everybody put in. So are you guys ready? So we're going to start this thing right now, man. So here we go, guys. So coming in, let's see here. Let me get my list coming in.
Pop my thing up.
Oh, well, yeah. Let me pop the thing up here real quick here. All right, here we go. Coming in, number 100, Paul McGuire.
So Paul McGuire played from 1964 to 1970 with the Bills. He was a punter and linebacker. He was the AFL All-Star in 1965, ranked second in team history with 42.1 career gross punt average. Shares the team record for punts in a game with 11 and did it twice. So, one of those guys, AFL guys, Justice, we were talking about it at the start, guys that I never watched. This was he ended 10 years before I was even born. So, we got to show love to the founding fathers of the Buffalo Bills back in the AFL days when we were winning championships.
Right. I mean, dude, guys, the guy was a punter and a linebacker. I mean, that tells you all you need to know.
That's like high school stuff, man. That's high school stuff.
About where football has evolved because, listen, I love Matt Ariza, the punt guy, but, I don't want him at linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, if you watch his film, he'd be out there hitting.
I don't know. I don't know if he's hitting people like Paul McGuire. Probably.
Yeah,
man. So this is well before my time. 1964 to 1970. So I apologize for any old timers that watch Paul McGuire. I don't know much about him. There was not really, I couldn't find any clips. But everything I read about him was the dude was a dog. He was a tough SOB. And this was when football was a little different and the helmets were a little different. And players were mean and bite your finger. And so,
Jason coming in with the hot take right off the top. A punter who hits like a linebacker.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look at that dude. I mean, that's a solid guy, man. Justice, anything on that? Anything on Paul McGuire?
Not necessarily Paul McGuire, but I do want to give a shout out to Coach Kim Boomhauer because he sent me this clip, pretty cool clip of some Bills. I believe it was the 1962 team, if I'm not mistaken. And it had legit, it had maybe 11 players. Oh no, on the one roster, it did the full offense and defense. It legit had 11 players that are on this list. So shout out to Coach Boom. And Paul McGuire was in that era, so that it kind of reminded me of that. So
nice.
Yeah. And that's what, listen, Buffalo was I believe, how many did we win? I think 1 or 2. I think we won 2 AFL championships, Mikey, if I'm not mistaken. I know they won 1 for sure.
I think they won more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they won 2. I could be wrong. It wasn't, like I said, once again, guys, this isn't my era. If it was, I'd be one old content guy, but no offense to any old anybody gets old in the chat. I'm just saying. So it wasn't my time. Anything else on Paul McGuire, guys? All right. So we're gonna move on to number 99. Here we go. Number 99, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick played from 2009-2012 for the Bills. He was a quarterback. We get Fitz Magic and Fitz Tragic. He starts the game as Magic and ends the game as Tragic. That's just, his career. Love the guy. He is a Mafia legend. Ranks 5th in passing yards with the team with 11,654. Is 4th in TDs with 80 and completions with 1,041. His 3,832 yards in 2011 was the 5th best in team history at the time. So the dude was really, during that drought era, was one of the best that we had at quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Harvard guy. He's the guy that you would hate to have on your team if he was going to be the backup, because at some point you knew he was going to be starting. Right. Yep. But God, you gotta love his grit.
I actually got some video clip real quick. I'll show everybody watches. So let's see a little Fitz magic. I know that Mikey likes to call him Fitz tragic, but these are Fitz magic moments.
Jackson in the backfield, 1st and 10. There's a block by Stupon. Winding up, going deep, and caught. It's a touchdown. Johnson doubled and corkscrewing into the end zone. A 37-yard strike by the quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick is a gamer. It's what Lee Evans told us about him. He's just got a knack.
Season is on the other side of the field and not playing today, Joseph Adai. Fitzpatrick going deep. T.O. touchdown.
The legend. Legend.
Love Fitzpatrick. And I remember that
so
TO
awesome.
play. Oh, dude, in the snow. There's nothing like those games, watching those games back, the snow games. And let me tell you, that's a tough throw. And he made those, like, first moments that he had that were bad, he made some unbelievable moments as well. So I love Fitzpatrick. I love his energy. But yeah, he was one of those quarterbacks where he was just gonna, throw. He kind of reminded me of a little bit, Mikey and Justice, Winston, a little bit. With he's a little chaotic at times, but he could throw 500 yards one game. The next game you throw. James Winston.
He's Brett Favre light.
He's very
Fitzpatrick.
He is too.
He's a gunslinger and does not care about throwing picks.
No, he doesn't. Yeah,
exactly. I was first of all, Ryan Fitzpatrick is obviously one of my favorite quarterbacks. I'm only 27 years old, so Ryan Fitzpatrick may be the second or third, maybe fourth best quarterback I've ever seen in my lifetime in the Bills uniform. Right. So I have an appreciation for Ryan Fitzpatrick. It was always cool to be able to see a quarterback go out there and be able to go toe to toe with Tom Brady in New England. It was like, remember that season when we were good to start the season, and they were like, "Well, the Bills have a high-powered offense. It's like they're going to have to outscore New England." And that's exactly what they did, and they beat the Patriots that one year. Ryan Fitzpatrick was balling out of control. I love watching Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That was that Haley offense.
Yeah, I actually, Tommy, it's funny you said that because I actually predicted that Jameis Winston would be the next Ryan Fitzpatrick in terms of journeyman who will get multiple opportunities to start.
Yeah.
But I have an appreciation for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think he's awesome. Like, you showed the clips, just like he brought so many exciting moments. There were it was
way
like,
more than that, but yeah,
it was like a marriage with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It was like the high moments were high, but the low moments were low. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But he definitely took some shots, and you win some, you lose some. I always say that he has Hall of Fame talent with not even making the team consistency. Because if he was able to keep consistency with his high level of play, he legit could have been a starter for like all of his years.
Oh yeah,
in football.
Yeah, and he got starter money. I mean, because he's a tricky player to evaluate, right? Like he is. Like you see it, but then you see the like he can't make that mistake, and that's just Fitzmagic. I think he would always. That's just the way he's going to play. He's
that 1B tier, the guy that you want as your backup in case your starter goes out for the year. You have someone who can 100%. Engineer your offense. He's not consistent enough to be an elite tier quarterback and be one of those guys. But he's that guy that you want second in command. If something happens to your quarterback, your team isn't going to suffer.
He might be the best backup quarterback ever.
Yes. 100. He's up there. And I will say this too. Out of all, it's funny, like Buffalo Bills fans, BillsMafia, were really tough on quarterbacks, right? Like really tough. Like when a quarterback leaves, or like that guy sucked. He's the worst. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick may be the one guy that gets a pass. Like you really got a pass out of all the bad quarterbacks that came. And I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying like it didn't work out. He got a contract, so it's not like he didn't. And BillsMafia really wasn't that tough on him. They really weren't. They always had love
why,
for
Tommy?
Fitzpatrick.
I'll tell you why. He never played it safe. And as a Bills fan, after years of the crap check down quarterbacks playing it safe, we got a gunslinger out there that always kept us in the game. He may throw the pick that lost it, but he's going to make it exciting down the stretch. He doesn't care. And you got to as a Bills fan, I always respected that from Fitzpatrick. So that's why I was fine with him. I love Fitz.
100%. Tough as they come too, man. Like that dude was just for a quarterback in that position. He's like that dude was not a quitter, man. Like he will just keep throwing it and throwing it and throwing it.
Having the blood leaking down his face, that's gonna live forever. You talk about how tough a guy is,
dude. Yeah, man.
That shirtless picture in the playoffs.
The Deshaun Jackson one? Are you talking about with the
that one was funny too.
That one too. But the last year when we played New England and he was in the stands with his shirt off.
Oh, that will forever be
Mhm.
a memory for Buffalo fans. Bills Mafia. That will never go away.
Forever.
That's stamped in. You know what I mean? Like that's like a tattoo.
That's already like as legendary as the Buffalo Bills going undefeated and they go to the Super Bowl. Like it's already up there with that one. Like that's gonna live forever.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right. Anything else on Fitzmagic, guys?
Yeah. So the chat's coming in. A lot of people are like top. Scott Blake comes in and says he's his top 5 Bills quarterback in his eyes. Daniel Gari says great number 2, but if he's your starter, you need to draft a new QB. Love him. And he was a gunslinger. Too bad his arm wasn't.
Yeah. I agree with Hendog too. That year, I think Miami made a huge mistake.
Mistake by pulling him.
Yeah, big mistake because I thought they had a good little roll on, but it is what it is, man.
There's a reason why he's not coaching that team anymore. Stupid, which very could have easily been McDermott the year that Tyrod got yanked for Peterman, and McDermott realized he made the mistake and put Tyrod right back in and never went back to Peterman that year.
I mean, Peterman threw like 8 interceptions, so I mean, they really didn't have much choice.
But did Tua do it any better when he went in?
He didn't throw 8 interceptions in a row. Like
I was so upset, Justice, at McDermott when I don't know about you guys, but when I remember that season and I remember him pulling Tyrod, and I was like, this is our coach, man. Like, what is he doing? Like, are you got to be kidding me?
I'm a Tyrod apologist. People legit argue with me because I think people give Tyrod too much flack. I was fine with them bitching Tyrod's head. I'm gonna be honest. At the time, I was fine with it
because he wasn't throwing it deep at that time. He was checking everything down.
And I mean, I understand he was devoid of weapons at the time, but I was fine with it. And when Peterman came in and did what he did, I was like, oh, Tyrod again.
Yeah.
I wasn't fine.
But you know what? McDermott earned a lot of respect in that locker room by owning up to his mistake, and he said it. He owned it. It was about accountability, right? The coaches preaching accountability, and he takes that.
Yeah, but for as much as he understood how bad he was, he still started him the next season.
I heard he was a practice warrior though. So like
he practiced in preseason MVP.
Well. Yeah. He was great. Yeah, he looked great in practice.
You get him in the real live fire, the dude just couldn't do it.
Yeah, when all the talk about him initially came out, I was like, all right, let me look at this guy in college. So I kind of look, and I saw this little film he did about him doing trick shots with the football. I'm like, oh my God, this guy could throw, 60-yard pass to a garbage can. Like, this guy's gonna be unbelievable. And it was like 5 interceptions. I'm like, this guy's terrible. So like, yeah, bro, like stick to your trick shots, man. Like what you do best, like football is not, quarterback's not for you, bro.
I'll tell you, Hen Dog, no Uncle Rico. I am not a Kyle Orton guy. I
didn't mind. See, that's me and Mikey disagree on that. I didn't mind.
I am not a Kyle Orton guy.
I thought
I hated that guy.
I didn't hate him at all. I thought Kyle Orton gave us a little spark.
I like Kyle Orton.
I didn't mind him at all. I thought he.
I think if Kyle and Doug Marrone would have stayed one more year, we would have made the playoffs the next year.
I thought he played very well. I'll be honest with you. For the limited amount of time that he came in, he did way better than EJ. I mean, night and day. It really was. And EJ. I felt bad for EJ because he came on a team. I feel bad for every quarterback comes on a bad team, but when you don't have leadership as a coach and GM, you're in a tough spot, man. And EJ had no chance. He just didn't. So, and I think EJ knows that too. EJ said that a lot. Like he wishes he wasn't drafted here. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, we all done with Fitzy?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on. Here we go to number 98, Ryan Lindell.
So Ryan Lindell played from 2003 to 2013 with the Bills, ranked second in Bills history with 980 points, is second with 225 field goals, and the only kicker with 3 5-field goal games.
Wow.
In Bills history. Yeah, he was money, man. Lindell, he really was. When he got here, and he played for such horrible teams. Like, you never knew how good he was because he played on such a bad team all the time.
Long time with us too, man. That's over 10 seasons.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, 10 years. 980 points, so he's second. I mean, like, you got to give him his dues. That means he had a good completion percentage as far as making field goals. He's second with field goals. And yeah, I mean, I remember him forever. He was on the team for so long. And once again, this goes back to the drought years. Like, I feel bad for these guys, man. Stuck around these bad teams, man. Like Ryan Lindell could have probably went and kicked somewhere else and won a championship. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, man, but they stuck around. You got to give that's why these guys like, Lindell made the list. Fitzmagic, guys that stuck around.
He stuck around for almost 11 years in crap weather and is one of the best kickers in Buffalo history.
Yeah. Mikey, exactly. I totally forgot about that. And crap weather too. So it's like, and it's not like Buffalo's the place to be. Like, everybody knows. Like, now it is, but back then it wasn't. Like, so. And he was one of the better kickers in the league. I'm sure he had an opportunity to go elsewhere when his contract expired, and he stuck around. So that that says a lot.
The longest or who played in the most games, Jason? The player who played in the most games all time for Buffalo is Andre Reid.
Oh, he was around forever, man. Remember his last year? Oh, man.
I learned all kinds of wonderful nuggets doing research for this show.
Oh yeah, you're gonna learn. Justin, you remember Ryan?
Oh yeah, I remember Ryan Lindell. Yeah, absolutely. He was one of only 4 kickers I know. Like, he maybe was the first kicker that I was actually cognizant of. Like, oh, this guy's the kicker for my football team. You know what I mean? Like, it was Ryan Lindell, Dan Carpenter, Colton Schmidt. No, he was a punter. There was. Anyway, Ryan Lindell was good. He was really good. Mikey, you make a great point. You said he played for some really bad teams, and what's funny is, when I heard his name at the start of this process, I thought, oh, Ryan Lindell's the one that missed the kick in, so and so, or in Dallas, or in whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I always thought of Ryan Lindell as that kicker who missed the kick in Cleveland or whatever, Yeah. And then I thought about it, and I was like, but he was really consistent. He stayed on the team for a really long time, and he played on teams that never had a shot to make the playoffs. So, you can't really, hold too much against him. And like you said, he's second in Bills history in points and second in field goals. Like, he obviously did his job at an extremely high level.
Yeah, 100%. It's tough to talk a lot about a kicker because we can only say they made their field goals. They did their job. So this guy definitely did his job. One of the better kickers in Buffalo Bills history. So we're gonna move on to number 97, which is Aaron Williams.
Aaron Williams played 2011 to 2016. His career was cut short by the neck injury by the cheap shot of Jarvis Landry. Made 7 interceptions in 59 games, all with the Bills. Promising up-and-comer whose career was cut way too short.
Oh, 100%. Aaron Williams, man, like, he had an opportunity to be like one of the better safeties in the league, man. He was really good. But like you said, Mike, it started with the Patriots injury. I think it was, I want to say Edelman. I could be wrong, but I thought it was Edelman. And it was just a freak play, man. He went to go tackle him getting into the end zone, and his neck kind of snapped back on the back of him. And that kind of triggered that neck thing. And then it happened again against the Dolphins versus Landry. And to be honest with you, yes, it was a cheap play, but it was a legal play. But it was cheap in football.
It was a legal play then. It would not be illegal.
Yeah, not now, but I'm just saying then. So I'm not faulting too much on Landry, though. It was a cheap, dirty kind of play. He knew better. But I mean, listen, I've also looked at Buffalo Bills older highlights, and we've done that too on players. So I'm not gonna. It just sucks that he had the neck injury, and believe me, if he didn't have that neck injury, I don't know if we'd be like talking about it today. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if that would have affected his career. He would have been just fine. It was the freak accident against the Patriots that kind of triggered it, and he just never fully recovered. And I remember the year he came back. It was actually the Landry hit. And I remember like them interviewing him and him saying, I feel good. I feel 100%. Like, I can't wait to get on the football field and test it out and, just break the mental, block that I'm going to be all right. And that happened. And it was just, he had no choice but to retire. But, like I said, Mikey, I think if he would have stuck around, if that didn't happen, he would have been up there. I think he would have been higher on this list.
Oh, absolutely.
In my opinion, it's just unfortunate, he got hurt, and this is football. This is what happens, guys. There's guys that get paralyzed. I mean, Eric Wood's another example, and I'm sure we'll talk about him at some point. But, talk about a career cut short because of a neck injury. This is one of them. And Justice will be back. I think Justice had to do something real quick, guys. So anything else on Aaron Williams?
Is one of those guys who started as a corner, transitioned to safety. He was that young prospect that we were looking at, and we, everyone really liked and wanted to, we were excited about him. He was going to be part of that, one of those core building blocks for our defense, because the guy was uber talented. Oh yeah. And it's just, it's one of those things that happens. Kevin Everett, same type of thing. Uber talented tight end who ended up getting paralyzed. Ended up walking again. Due to the wonderful medical staff, but it's football. It's a dangerous game.
Yeah, it happens. And Scotty came in with the remember the AFL. So I was right on the 2. I thought it was 2. So 64 and 65.
Appreciate you, Scotty.
Back to back. Yeah, man. See, I love you. I love the chat, man. They're always doing their research. Unlike me and Mikey. Hey, man, we got to do a lot of other stuff. But thank you, thank you, Scotty. I appreciate you. Chris coming in, Zach Miller from the Bears with his leg. There's a lot of guys that their career cut short. Even guys that just kind of had nagging injuries that had to retire a little early.
Andrew Luck.
Yes. Oh, Mikey, great. Man, I totally forgot about him. Andrew freaking Luck. Andrew Luck was that guy would have been a problem. He was good. He was awesome. Yes. Like, that guy was I was like, oh my God. Indy went from Peyton Manning to freaking Andrew Luck. Like,
just like what? Green Bay went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Like, what is the luck, right? Like, not many teams can do that, right? Like it's very. Remember, we went through the list the other day about franchise quarterbacks and next quarterback to take over, and usually it's not good, right? Andrew Luck was damn good, and the problem with Andrew Luck was he just pushed himself too much.
No, he was behind a bad O-line.
Bad O-line, which was weird because Manning always had a good O-line up until the end, and that's when his neck got messed up. And then they just threw this guy in to the fire, and he did all he could. But yeah, great point, Mikey, on Andrew Luck. But there's many, and that's why I say football, I think there's a 3.5 year window, like on average. So man. Just doesn't.
Daniel comes in and asks. Daniel Guerrero comes in and says, "Why does Nick Wright hate Josh Allen so much?" Because he's neck and neck with Patrick Mahomes, and he doesn't want to. He's been poo-pooing on him since he came out, and he doesn't like to take L's in his.
I thought he finally came out and said
he did.
He's wrong
after last year. He said, "I'm done poo-pooing on him." The dude put enough fear in me in that game that I will never slander him again. But that's the reason why he's one of those guys. And it's great clickbait with BillsMafia. That's why he does it.
Oh, bro,
so much clickbait from BillsMafia.
my best video, guys, ever on my channel was when I did a poem to Nick Wright, and it had like 4,000 views. I'm like the cheesiest poem ever. I don't know how to write poems. I just did, but anything Nick Wright related, but BillsMafia all over it.
Yep.
It was wonderful, man. But anyways, all right. So y'all done with
moving on.
I'm gonna move on to the next number 96, Jay Remersma.
Yeah, Jay Remersma played from 1997 to 2002. Was tight end, ranked second amongst Bills tight end with 204 catches, 2,304 receiving yards, and 20 touchdowns. He was the last really good tight end. I mean. Technically, Charles Clay probably has better numbers, but he played in a different era.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. He was a listen, I like Reimers. Was he an elite tight end? No. Was he a good tight end? Yes. I thought he was a good tight end, but he definitely deserves to be on here. He put up pretty good numbers, but I gotta say they weren't great numbers, but we also were throwing to the receivers more. We didn't really use tight ends much, honestly, throughout Bills history. If you go look back on Bills tight ends, it's not the best. And it's just weird. We just never really relied on our tight ends much. And I'm not saying this guy doesn't deserve 96 because I think he does. It's just, I mean, if you look at the yardage, I mean, obviously, if you go on other teams' top 100, they're going to probably have awesome tight end. We just didn't use them much in our offense throughout almost every season. I got to be honest. Mm-hmm. Now I think now we're starting to get Dawson Knox. I think, maybe things are turning around, and I think Dawson Knox may be, Mikey, that guy to eventually get on this list and surpass guys like Jay Reimers, because we're starting to use them a little bit more.
That's saying that he secures a bag and stays with the Bills longer.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike.
Because it is.
That's a great point. I didn't even realize. You're 100%. You got a great point. I didn't even realize that. You're right. That's if he stays, guys. So that would really suck, guys.
Metzler was a good one too, Scott.
That would really suck, Mikey, if we built this guy up
and then we watch him walk out the door and he goes and tears it up for somebody else.
Right. Like we did
the same thing with Logan Thomas. we put him, we transitioned him from quarterback to tight end.
I remember.
We let him walk out the door and he became a Pro Bowler in Washington.
Yeah, and he was way better. But I think Dawson Knox will be on a way different level than him. But I get what you're saying. But it would just really it would suck because it's like it's a one of those draft picks where it's like we knew we had to be patient with him, and we finally get him there, and then he leaves.
Yep.
It's like, oh no. Yep.
So he had all the raw talent, just had to learn the position at the pro level, and then takes off. Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah. So hopefully he sticks around, man.
Yeah,
that's what I would hope. All right,
Metzler was a really good blocking tight end as well. Metzler and Reimers, both of them, they were great blocking tight ends as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Listen, a lot of that time, a lot of people forget about the blocking element of it. He was a solid player, no doubt. That's why he's on the list.
Yep,
he's on the list, guys. And I gotta say this too. There's a lot of guys, that some of you guys may think should be deserving to be on the list that aren't going to be on the list, and I totally understand that. I really do. And there's some guys that you may feel needs to be higher on this list or lower on this list. I totally understand as well. Charles Clay, in my opinion, should be on this list. But there just wasn't enough room on the total vote. And I know a lot of Bills Mafia doesn't like Charles Clay because of
the drop,
the drop, the last year.
Let's be honest, it's the drop.
Yeah, it is a drop. That stays in people's mind. But if you forget about that and you kind of try to erase that, he was a solid tight end. He was one of our best receivers, really, for 2 of the 3 seasons, or 3 of the 4, whatever he was here for. You got to give him
he was our leading receiver.
Exactly. And he was a tight end. So you got to show him some kind of love over one drop. That, by the way, that drop wasn't for a playoff spot. That wasn't a playoff game. It was a meaningless game. I get it was Josh Allen. I understand that, but that meant nothing. That meant zero. At the end of the day, we just lost a meaningless game. But that's just my opinion.
It is your opinion, and
it is my opinion. I thought that I thought that
I thought we overpaid for him, and he was
100% we overpaid. No, 100%.
He was a decent tight end that what was a product of the system at the time that we had no receiver, so he got all the love. I didn't find him overly good at all. Like I thought he was an average tight end that fit into what we were trying to do.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was overly good. And remember, he was a fullback out of Miami that transitioned to a tight end. So he was an undersized tight end, to be real with you.
Yeah.
But regardless of the fact that we didn't have anybody else to throw it to, he still stepped up. He was the guy. So and he was the guy for multiple years. So it wasn't just one lucky year. I'm just saying. So you got to still give him the dues that he still made the catches. He still got the yards. He still got the touchdowns. And like I said, if he's going to be in the top 100, it would have been, in my opinion, towards the bottom, like number 100, number 99, somewhere around there. But either way, he's around there, and I got to show him some love, and that's the only reason I mention him on this list. So we're going to move on, Mikey. So we're going to go to number 95, and here we go. Number 95, Doug Flutie.
All right,
Doug Flutie.
The Magic Man, Doug Flutie, played for the Bills from 98 to 2000. Led the Bills to playoff appearances in 2 of his 3 seasons. In just 39 games, he ranks 8th in passing yards with 7,582, completions with 598, and touchdown passes with 47 in 3 seasons. The dude was great.
I got some video clips, guys, so I want you guys to enjoy the Flutie clips, and here we go. I got 2 of them for you. So back to back, here we go.
Flutie, back to pass, throws it, it's caught, touchdown, Eric Moe, in for the score. The man without his own country for 8 years has come south of the border. This crowd, does Flutie have a pro miracle to go along with a BC miracle? Here's Flutie rolling out, and he is in for the touchdown. Doug Flutie rolls out and in for the touchdown.
He is a miracle man. I believe.
I remember, I had Flutie Flakes, by the way, and it freaking got crushed on a move. I was so mad. I gotta get them. They're on eBay. I can get them again. But did you have Flutie Flakes box, Mikey? Ever?
I did not. They did not have them in Northern California.
Oh, dude, I ordered mine from Florida. I had to have Flutie Flakes. I ordered it, and I had that box forever, and it got crushed.
During that time from 98 to 2000 was right the end of my high school year and when I went into the military. So I didn't have a whole lot of downtime during that time. I had other things going on.
And then Doug Flutie, huh?
Yep. I loved him though. He was the Magic Man, dude. He was great. Like
let me tell you. Were you watching that time or you were away?
Kinda? Yeah, no. I actually I was watching 98 and 99. I went in the military late 99 and early 2000. I got out for the first game I watched was the Music City Miracle. I was on leave from my AIT, my advanced individual training in the Army. So I got my first off post pass. Went straight and got a hotel, watched the game, and I will tell you, it crushed me.
Yeah, it definitely. So listen, I remember. Listen, Mikey, I told you everybody I've been watching since 1989. Diehard fan, and I remember when we signed Flutie, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so damn short. He's like 5'8", and I'm thinking, what the hell is he gonna do, right? And I was sold on the Rob Johnson thing. I was not. Came out of Jacksonville, big guy. Remember, this is back in the day, right? We gave him the big deal. And I remember a lot of, I just remember preseason. And I remember Doug Flutie just was electric, man. And Rob Johnson was, right. But I just remember Flutie going in there. And not only was he electric, but it just seemed like the team rallied around him.
He was a winner. He was a leader and a winner.
Yeah, a leader. Exactly. Right. So, and he was a tough little dude. And I think Rob Johnson got hurt in that first year Flutie was in, I want to say. And then Flutie came in, and I'm like, this is the guy. This is the guy. If you don't make this the guy. He was just electric, and teams had no answer for him. And I'm not saying he put up awesome numbers, but it was not always about the numbers with him. It was more about just leading the team. The team rallied around him. They believed in him. And I don't think they ever believed in Rob Johnson, in my opinion. And when we made the playoffs, when we made the playoffs against Tennessee that second season, that was bullshit. Total bull crap. And I love Ralph Wilson, but forcing the hand of the coach to go to Rob Johnson after Doug Flutie get you to the playoffs was a total joke. And, you know, I go back to the whole what's his name said, our old offensive lineman, Mongo Feliciano, saying the team got what they deserved. Like, I would expect that from Flutie because I think we would have won that game. I don't think it would have ever came down to that last play if Flutie would have played, in my opinion. And, you know, we lost. We lost that game, and I was so heartbroken, bro, because I just felt like Flutie would have gotten us a little further in the playoffs. He was that kind of a player. He was a special player. He was a special player in college, Mikey. He was a special player in Canada. He won a championship there.
He was a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner.
Yeah, everywhere he went, even if it was a backup, he did something special. Something. He New England. He did the punt.
Yeah,
punt field goal kick.
Drop kick. Yeah, the drop kick field goal. He's like, okay, I can't get on the field because of Tom Brady. Here, I'll do a drop kick just to get.
And they freaked out. The crowd loved it. It was like better than anything Tom Brady did that day was Doug Flutie doing the drop punt field goal kick or whatever. Right? Like it didn't matter. Whatever anybody did that day, that was the highlight of the day. And that's why I absolutely love Doug Flutie, man. I love him. I do. I you know, that's another player Buffalo Bills fans, Bills Mafia will always love, man. Always love, no matter what. All right, Mike, you ready to move on?
Yep.
All right, coming at number 94, Mark Pike.
Mike Pike?
Mike Pike. I said Mark. Hey, guys, I've been drinking, all right?
So, anyways, years
1987
to 1998. He was a special teams and defensive end. He was actually played in the shadow of Steve Tasker because Pike is actually the Bills' all-time leader in special team tackles with 255.
Yep.
He led the team in tackles 7 times, all in his final 8 seasons. He played his entire 12-year career with the Bills for a total of 173 games. The dude was a special team maven, much like Steve Tasker, and then just worked his way into actual playing times on the defense. Like Tasker worked his way into becoming a receiver. Pike worked his way in as a D end.
Yeah, no, he exactly what you said. Special teams, all-time leader in tackles. He was the guy. He was definitely the guy after Steve Tasker. He was on that 87 through 98. He stuck around for a long time, man. His whole career with Buffalo. Yeah. He didn't go anywhere else.
Yep.
Like he would be, Mikey, a McDermott guy. Like, big time. Like this is when we talk about McDermott guys, here he is. Yeah. Here he is, Mike Pike. I mean, 100%. This is the guy that McDermott would be gushing about on press conferences, like for real. And we would be, and it's funny because sometimes Bills Mafia, they don't really understand sometimes what these guys do. And that's why, like, I like guys like Saran Neal, right? Like, it's not about, special teams are it's a big deal because if you can get a tackle guy, at the 10 or force a fumble or, get a tackle guy that's getting, has leverage to get a touchdown. These are the guys you need. Like, these are the gunners. And he was just a solid player, man. I mean, and to last that long, 12 years, listen, like I told you guys before, man, football is a tough sport, especially in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. The rules are different now, guys. Players were taking massive hits. The helmets weren't the same. So I give
player safety is definitely come
way different, night and day
compared to what it was back then.
The rules have changed.
And I had to put him blocking the punt as his picture because that just identifies with what he was. He was an elite special teams player who was able to stick around long enough to be productive on defense. Gotta love those guys.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why he made the list.
Yes, made the list.
Made. Like Chris Jericho says, you made the list. All right. We're going to move on to number 93. Number 93, Josh Reid.
Josh Reid, wide receiver, played from 2002 to 2009 with the Bills, ranks 11th in team history with 3,575 receiving yards. His 311 catches are 4th all-time amongst receivers.
Yep. I love Josh Reid. And
I will tell you.
Go ahead, Mikey.
I will tell you, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised when I did the research to get his profile. I did not realize he had that many catches.
Yeah.
When I think of elite receivers that played with the Bills, Josh Reid being the 4th all-time amongst receivers,
it's crazy.
Does not come to the top
catches.
of my
right.
Catches. Yeah.
Right. It's amazing, right?
It is.
Yeah. And he wasn't with us like that long. Now, he stayed a decent amount of time, but was 7, 8 years. So, I mean, wasn't like he was, and he was never the prime guy. Wasn't the go-to guy. We had guys like Eric Mullins, Peerless Price, Lee Evans. I mean, he was 3rd on the list.
Always
to go to. You know what I mean?
Always. He was the slot guy.
He was a slot guy, and he was a solid. A lot of people forget about Josh Reid, but I got some highlights here. Got some highlights here, Mikey, to show you guys.
From the 49, Osman has thrown a couple of interceptions, 3 to be exact now, and there's a catch and run by Josh Reid. Getting a block from Aiken, being chased by Poteet, cutting it back inside. He broke an Asante Samuel tackle and an attempted tackle by
tight ends against the Redskins. Oh, what a great play fake. Into the end zone. Josh Reid walks it in on the play action. Touchdown, Buffalo.
That was a tremendous play fake. There was nobody over there. You just picked.
There goes centers in motion. Here goes Bledsoe. Here comes Ian Gold, and Bledsoe to the end zone. Touchdown! And it's caught by the rookie, Josh Reid. His 2nd touchdown in as many games.
Yeah. So in case you forgot, there was a few highlights. So you can obviously find more, but
that first one though, man, that first one when he takes that little 5-yard pass, makes the guy miss. Like that's something we haven't seen in Buffalo, even in the Josh Allen era. We don't see those guys doing stuff like that.
Yak. Yeah. The take it to the house kind of play where it's just like the player making it happen. Right. Like it's more right now. Especially last year, like I said, Josh Allen was 17th in the league on Yak. So if we can improve those numbers and get plays like that, we're talking a great year.
That's a Jameson Crowder type of move. That's the stuff that Jameson Crowder's done his whole career.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, and he did have some feet. And by the way, that was in the snow. Mm-hmm. Like you got to get your grip in the snow like that. And he made all those players miss. It wasn't like he was getting unbelievable blocks. He just went and did his thing and took it to the house, man. So yeah, Josh Reid, I loved when we drafted him. I was like, oh dude, I remember that draft. I remember that draft pick. And I was like, man, this guy was good in college. It wasn't like he was like a reach or, this guy was like, maybe he was, needed some work. He was already good. He was our slot guy, and he was already coming on a team with excellent receivers, to be honest with you. But he was our slot guy, and it shows you right there, 4th all time and catches. So yeah, man, solid.
4th all time amongst receivers.
Yeah,
not 4th all time in
receivers. And receivers.
Because Thurman Thomas is just towards the top of the all time.
Oh yeah. I meant receivers. You know what I meant. All right. So moving on, number 93. Oh, we already did 93. Moving on, number 92, Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, so Tyrod Taylor played from 2015 to 2017. Pro Bowl selection 2015, ranked 7th in passing yards with 7,582. TDs with 51 and completions with 774. His 1.3% interception rate is a team record. Like during those years, he threw an interception rate of 1.3. He did not turn the ball over. I'll tell you, he is an underrated with Mafia. I truly believe this. And I was not a big Tyrod Taylor guy. Mm-hmm. When I started digging in the stats and realizing what he did, I don't think I give him enough credit. Not only that, but he broke the drought. He was the Bills quarterback who broke the drought. Granted, he rode a stellar defense and a running game with Shady McCoy, but he was the guy leading the charge. He made the plays when it had to be made. I got to give the guy credit. That's why he comes in at 92.
100%. We actually Got a little clip here, too, of Tyrod doing his thing on the football field.
Chip Kelly says they're both so dynamic in their abilities as offensive coordinators. Taylor's going to take a shot. He's got his man Harvin caught in the end zone for the Buffalo touchdown. 51
quarterback taking that kind of shots. Ninth play of the drive. Taylor keeps it himself. Room up the middle. Tyrod Taylor on the move. Gets to the outside. Taylor into the end zone for a touchdown. Nearly stepped out of bounds.
That was awesome.
Yeah, man. I remember when we got Tyrod, Mikey, from Baltimore, or he was a free agent. He played in Baltimore. And it was the Rex Ryan years. And we had, who do we have? We had, I want to say Castle. Who was the quarterback at the time? Was it Castle? It was somebody. I think it was Castle. We just signed somebody. And he wasn't supposed to start initially.
Mm-hmm. He came in and it was in a three-way competition.
It was a three-way competition.
Castle and
you're right.
Tyrod.
Okay. So I remember seeing him in practice and preseason and saying, man, this guy is different. He's fast. He can run. Like, I haven't seen that for a while since like a Michael Vick kind of, he had the wheels. And what really excited me was he had a good arm. Like in his first season, when he started, that first pass that you see to Percy Harvin, he was doing those his first season. Like, he wasn't playing where he was scared to throw deep. It was towards the end of the season, like his last season, where he was doing more checkdowns, playing more cautious football. But listen, I give him credit, man. Like, the guy came out of nowhere. He earned his right to be a starter. He got us to the playoffs in 2017. Even though it was a defensive team, he still was the quarterback.
Yep.
And not only was he quarterback, he got pulled, and he could have been sour about it, but he wasn't. And he came right back in, did his thing, got us to the playoffs. I really enjoyed his game, man. I thought he was, like I said, he brung that element where he can run, and I didn't see that for a long time, since probably Flutie, for a quarterback to kind of take off and be that dynamic quarterback. And he had an arm, like I said at the time. It was just, I don't know what happened towards the end, if the offensive coordinator was just telling him to be more cautious, or he took a hit and didn't want to take a chance. But
he was always looking over his shoulder at the end. He was always, once Rex was gone and McDermott became the head coach, he was always worried about getting benched, so he just played it safe rather than being the guy who just uncorked it, which is fine. If that's what he wanted to do. But he's also one of the most unlucky guys. He goes we trade him to Cleveland. He's going to be the bridge quarterback for Mayfield. Gets hurt. Mayfield comes in. He never gets his job back. Goes to San Diego. Was going to be the bridge quarterback for Herbert. And the doctor punctures his lung. He loses his job.
Yeah,
he goes to Houston. And he's going to be the bridge quarterback in Houston because they drafted Mills. And he gets hurt. So the guy's just unlucky.
Right. And Miles, he wasn't that small. He's 6'1", so he wasn't like a super small. Like Doug Flutie was small. I think Doug Flutie was like 5'9", like that small. You know what I mean? Like Tyrod Taylor, yeah, he's small compared to like Josh Allen. You know what I mean? But 6'1". I think the average quarterback height, I want to say, Mikey, is like 6'2", around there, 6'3". Right? Am I right on that? Like average. So he was kind of floating around that average, but and he wasn't like a Kyle Murray where he was super thin, or Tua. He didn't really get hurt much when he got tackled. He ran a lot. It was more about, like Mikey said, unlucky circumstances, getting poked by a needle and like in your liver or whatever you got poked in. It's like. Right. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, and then going to Cleveland. Listen, I knew that, Mikey, when he went to Cleveland and they had the number 1 pick, before they even drafted a pick, I said he's in a bad situation, because they've been losing for so long, right? They're gonna boo this guy the moment he plays bad, like one bad snap, right? One bad drive or whatever. And that's exactly what happened. He got hurt and he never saw the field again, because no matter what, they wanted their first round pick to come in. And I understand that in a way, because that's how fans are. That's how we are. But he should have never signed with Cleveland. I think he
didn't. We traded him there.
I'm sorry, but he He should have maybe wanted to go somewhere else or something. I don't know.
He got out the next year because that was his last year of his deal, so he got out quick.
Yeah, but either way, that was a bad predicament for him. Just
so we have our first one that comes in asking how Tyrod is rated higher than Fitzmagic. It was a fan base vote.
Yep.
Although I may not agree with Tyrod being higher than Fitz, it's a fan base vote. It's a team effort. So
it was, and
it's where it just landed.
So speaking on that, like and like I told you guys, me and Mike will be brutally honest on how we feel. That listen, this is what makes this fun, right? Not everybody's going to agree with this list.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, when you guys watch NFL Top 100, there's people on there who are like, "What the hell?" And even players are like, "He deserves to be higher." So it's going to happen, and yeah, I mean, where Tyrod is ahead of Fitz, yeah, in my opinion, I think he should be because he got to the playoffs and it was a drought that was ended 17 season. It was something that I literally had like some tears because I've been waiting 17 years to finally get back, to see my team in the playoffs. And he was the guy, to help lead that way. So Fitzpatrick, for as awesome as he was, and if you're going to ask me what player I like the most as like a fan favorite, Fitzpatrick, no doubt. I love Fitzpatrick over Tyrod Taylor as a fan. But if you want to go by, what he did for the team, I'm going to rate Tyrod Taylor higher, and that's why I think he deserves to be higher on the list than Fitzpatrick. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And I'm a little bit different. I thought I didn't give Tyrod enough respect. I told you that when we first unveiled him. I found out more about Tyrod and gained a little more respect for him.
Yeah.
I didn't think Tyrod should be this high. I thought some other quarterbacks should have been higher. However, gotta respect it. He did. He was the quarterback leading the charge when we broke the streak, and maybe a recency bias type of thing. So
fair, fair enough. Yep. And listen, it's 100 players, guys. There was a lot of guys left off this list that I was like, damn, man, oh, man, they should probably be there. But It's tough. It is really tough, guys. Like, I challenge you guys, honestly, like if you guys are that bored to go over.
Let's go through our list. Go through our list. Rank them yourself, and then share it with Tommy and I.
Yeah, and if you're missing, if there's a guy that's not even on the top 100, you feel like it, then let me know. I'm curious what you guys, that we left off this list coming up when we're finished, that you felt like this should be there. And we'll talk about it. All right, so we're gonna move on to number 91, Mikey, and that is Roscoe Parrish from the U.
Roscoe Parrish played from 2005 2011. He was a wide receiver and punt returner. He's the all-time leader in punt returns and punt return yards in Buffalo history. His 3 TDs are tied for first. Led the NFL in 2007 2008 in average yards per punt. Also caught 134 passes for 1,500 yards and 7 touchdowns in his career. This guy was before his time. He would fit so well in today's NFL as that gadget guy. He was electric on the field.
Oh, dude, he's from the U. My team, all about the U. Dude, he was electric in college. Roscoe Parrish was the shit in the University of Miami. Everybody knew Roscoe. Kick return, punt return, wide receiver. I mean, this dude had some speed. And I remember the draft, and I was like, "Oh my God, we drafted." Anytime we draft a Hurricane player, I'm like a little, I'm ecstatic. But I was like, "Oh my God, Roscoe Parrish is so freaking awesome, man!" And I was telling everybody, watch what this guy does when he gets the football in his hand. He's electric. He's just electric. And I do got a clip right here of Roscoe.
Make it
Parrish. Boy, he's got a wall. There goes Roscoe. Roscoe Parrish looking for pay dirt, and there it is.
What were you saying, Mikey? Make it quick?
I said make it quick because we're an hour in and we've only gone through 9 guys.
That's all right.
We don't want to be here for 3 hours doing this. So
it ain't 3 hours. We only got a few more. Come on. Come on.
All right.
All right. What are we doing? It's done. The clip's over.
Yeah. Okay. Good job.
Okay. Are we? Mikey's had a long.
I've had a really long day. Scott Blake comes in and says
he is not in a good mood.
Would love that speed today. You're right. Parrish, it was electric. He would be so welcomed on this team today. Sometimes I'm not in a good mood. I'm just tired. I get to talk Bills football. I'm always in a good mood when I talk Bills football.
I know, brother. I know. It's just Mike. Listen, guys, if you don't know Mikey is like working like a dog. Dude started at 3 a.m. I challenge anyone to get up at 3 a.m. to do work. He hasn't slept yet. So kudos to Mikey for talking to those Germans and Germany about things. So that's why
I work for a global company. Work for a global company. It happens.
So
it just happened on a Monday.
Exactly. So yeah, Roscoe was electric, man. He was like I said, man, it's just too bad. Once again, he was on a drought team, and he stuck around a while. And I gotta give love, and I always say that to these guys that stuck around on these badly coached teams, bad GMs, bad coach, just crappy ran teams. That we never had. Let's be honest, never had a chance. Never had a chance those years. Never had a quarterback in place, and these guys could have went somewhere else and got more money, maybe got a championship, and they stuck around. And to me, I don't understand, but I got to give them love, and that's why they're on this list, man, and that's why they got the numbers they do. So, all right, Mikey. Anything else on Roscoe?
Nope.
All right, moving on to number 90. Number 90, Andy Levitre.
Played from 2009 to 2012. He was part of the all-rookie team selection 2009. He started all 64 games during his 4-year tenure with the Bills. He formed the interior tandem with fellow rookie Eric Wood on helping transform the Bills' rushing attack into a top 10 unit. I don't know if you remember that time, Tommy, when him and Wood were drafted together. Our O-line and our rushing attack wasn't real strong. Ultimately, it came down once we drafted those two guys, and then we started building our O-line, and our rushing attack went from like 18, 19 up into the top 10. And his final year, I think we were number 4 or number 5 or something like that overall. But he was a fantastic. Then he went and played with the Titans for a lot of years, and played solid there. And he's what you call a solid guard.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, Scott, the only thing I know about Germany is David Hasselhoff is beloved in Germany. They love David Hasselhoff. But Mikey was Mike. I don't know what Mikey does. I don't know if he uses translator.
I do not speak German. My global head, my boss, if someone is speaking German, she translates for me. So.
Okay. So did you tell him? You should have asked him about David Hasselhoff. I guess that would be not work related. So you probably.
Yeah. No. Not on the calls I was on. Not on the calls I was on this morning. No.
You should have been like, yo, real quick off topic. Do you like Knight Rider? You'd be like, yes, I do. Love Knight Rider. All right. So Andy Levitre, solid guard from 2009, 2012, all rookie team, which is really good to start his season as a rookie. Just a solid offensive lineman. Didn't stick around long, I got to say. I don't know how the rest of his career panned out.
He was pretty solid.
I didn't.
He never made the Pro Bowl. He never made the Pro Bowl, but he was always in the solid. Like he was that rock solid guard that was always there.
When did he retire? Do you guys know?
I don't know, because he went and play. You know what? He retired the year that Atlanta lost Super Bowl, because he played in that Super Bowl.
2018, man. So he stuck around. So it's 10 seasons. So and that's a position, Mikey. I always say offensive line, defensive line. Those guys, man, they take they're the most brutal players on the field. They're constantly hitting each other. Like, that is a brutal position. If you can last 10 seasons, kudos to you.
Yeah.
So moving on, Mikey, to number 89. 89, Mario Clark.
Mario Clark played from 1976 to 1983. He was a cornerback. He ranked 6th in team history with 25 interceptions. He started 113 of 115 games with the Bills, and he had 10 fumble recoveries. The dude was a fantastic corner.
Yeah, he was. Too bad I wasn't around to watch.
Yeah, I couldn't find any clips or anything on him to watch like some of his stuff, but digging into the article that Sal wrote, he did a good job of kind of giving you a debrief on who the guy was. And then I read looked at some of the Bills' history and the records and stuff where I was able to get all of this information. So yeah, it was
and I think
solid guy.
I think he had the interceptions like early on. Like he had like a lot quick. Like the 25 came really fast or something that I read.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I honestly I don't know much about him because it was out of my time, guys. But everything I read about him, obviously he deserves to be on here.
Scott Blakely, a resident historian, comes and says he remembers him. He was a stud.
Dang, Scott, how old are you, bro?
Scott's like, I don't even know how old he is, but he knows all of them. He knows all of them. He's our resident historian.
Scott is 125 years old.
He is,
and he's still kicking
resident historian for the Bills. You want to know anything about the Bills? Talk to Scott.
Right. I remember the AFL championship game. All right, so a solid player, 89. Coming in at 88, Mikey, is Howard Ballard.
Okay, Howard Ballard played from 1988 to 1993. He was an offensive tackle, two-time Pro Bowl selection, 92 and 93. He anchored the right side during the Super Bowl and K-Gun days, started 80 of 96 games, including every game for this final 5 season. His nickname was Tank.
Tank. I love it. I love that nickname, by the way. Like Tank Abbott. So anyone named Tank, by the way, he's good at whatever he does, or he's a bulldog at whatever he does. So 2-time Pro Bowl, 92, 93. So he was on the Super Bowl teams, Mikey. Solid offensive lineman. I mean, this is what we are looking for now. Like these are the kind of players that we want on this team. And we're getting there, Mikey. We are. We're building up this offensive line to get players like a Howard Ballard to protect Josh Allen. But, yeah, man, I mean, this guy was solid all around.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
It was House. Daniel Gardner was right. It was House. He's built like a brick house.
Brick house. All right, number 87. Here we go. Number 87, Peerless Price. What's cool, real quick before you say, on that football, that picture that I just showed you, I don't know if you saw that because it was really quick. It said, and I don't know if this record's been broken, but it was an NFL record at the time. It was the 3 players to ever in a season have 1,000 yards eclipse in the same game. So Travis Henry,
100 yards
Price, no, 1,000 for the season. So they all in one game, like during the season at one point, eclipsed the 1,000 yards at the same time in one game.
Oh, that's a cool little trivia nugget. Yeah. I did not know that. And I did all kinds of research on this.
I saw the football, and that's why I put it there. And I guess he got like a game, they each got one, like from the NFL. Cool. So they all eclipsed their 1,000 yards in one of those games. It was the first time in NFL history that 3 players eclipsed that at the same time. So Travis Henry, Eric Moulds, Peerless Price. Just that's amazing. Shout out. Yeah,
that's amazing little trivia nugget, Tommy. All right, so Peerless Price played from 99 to 2002, went to Atlanta, then came back to Buffalo for 2006 and 2007. He ranks 10th in team history with 3,772 yards. His 288 catches are 7th all-time amongst receivers, and his 94 catches in 2002 tied for 4th most in team history. Think about that. In 2002, he had 94 catches, and that's still the 4th most in team history.
I love Peerless Price. I'm gonna show a quick little highlight, guys, real quick. Peerless. By the way, guys, it's gonna go a little quicker than you think because I don't have highlights of every player, as you guys notice. Okay, there's some that haven't been played, and some players we're gonna go through a little quicker. So bear with us. This is going to be fun. This is how it works, man.
Yeah.
So Peerless Price, here we go.
Have that deep strike capability if Bledsoe has time.
Blitz by the Lions. Bledsoe gets out. Wide open is Peerless Price, and there goes Peerless Price. He'll score. No flags down. Touchdown, Buffalo. 59 yards on the pass play.
Bledsoe over the middle. Touchdown. Peerless Price with Bledsoe goes corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Peerless Price.
Bledsoe can throw it through the wind fairly easy from what I've seen today during warm-ups and through his history.
Over the middle. That's complete. Peerless Price. Price off to the races. 40, 30, 20. Can he get there? He will. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Yard line. No timeouts. Down by 4. Fastball to the end zone. Touchdown. He's in. Peerless Pro.
Yo, Mikey, that dude was good. Like, he was fast, like faster than what you guys remember. I just want you to guys, if you don't forgot about him, watch him again. If he got the space, he was gone. He took it to the house, and he made some phenomenal catches. He had really good hands, Mikey. But that Dolphin catch where he caught it, it was like, what, a 15-yard pass maybe from Drew Bledsoe, 20 maybe, around that range. All he did was made one move, and he was gone. There was nobody there. Nobody. And that last play that Lossman, by the way, threw to him, that was that throw was over. A lot of receivers won't make that catch. That was over his head. He had to dive for it and toe tap at the same time. Phenomenal catch. He was really, really good. It sucks that he left and went to Atlanta because I think it was I think we wound up trading him because it was a contract thing. We couldn't afford him. But I think if he would have stuck in Buffalo, if that didn't happen, I think his yards would have been phenomenal.
Him and Eric Moulds together were elite.
Oh, dude, that 2002 team, Mikey, was phenomenal.
How did we not make the playoffs?
Oh, dude, that's another
That's a rabbit hole. Sorry, I won't take you down that rabbit hole.
You know me, Mikey. I'm obsessed with the 2002 team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to talk about that another day, or we'll be here another hour.
Yeah,
but,
just talking about that 2002 team.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can make a whole show about it, how disappointing that was. But, yeah, this guy was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And, by the way, he was great in college. I think he played for Tennessee, I want to say. It wasn't like he was a joke. He was freaking awesome coming out of college, and we teamed him up next to Eric Moulds and Josh Reid. It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Drew Bledsoe just came to town. Yeah. You got a guy that could throw through the wind, right? Like it was just dynamic, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mikey. You got anything else on?
He's fantastic. Underrated. You tend to forget
100%.
about him. He gets lost in the history of the Bills' great receivers.
100%. All right, moving on to number 86. Number 86, Drew Bledsoe.
The trigger man of that 2002 team. He played from 2002 to 2004. He was a Pro Bowl selection in 2002. He ranked 6th in passing yards, 10,151. TD passes 55 and completions 905 in his short career at the Bills. His 2002 season put him in the record books in passing yards, 3rd, TDs 7th, and completions 3rd. All time that stand today. At that time, it was actually higher. He was actually first in a lot of those selections, and then Josh came in and erased everyone's records.
Correct. I got a little clip here too of Drew. Play that now.
It means a lot to me to follow in the steps of one of my heroes, Jim Kelly, who was a guy that I admired greatly as I was playing high school ball, college ball, and then in NFL when I got to compete against him directly. I'm coming to Buffalo for one reason and one reason only, and that is to win football games. This is an organization that has a great tradition of excellence, and I hope I am part of the team that returns it to that tradition of excellence.
We don't work hard to get right here. Play smart, play physical, play with confidence. We'll win the game. Bring it up. Win on three. Win on three. 1, 2, 3.
And a lot of guys.
Bledsoe pump fakes, now goes to the end zone. Touchdown!
Yeah. So Mikey, you remember when we got him?
I do.
We traded for him. That was a huge deal in Buffalo. I remember like that was Mario Williams type signing, but bro, they flew him out. We had like a parade.
Yeah,
I mean, like that. It was like the next like coming of Jim Kelly. Like I mean, like it was. And unfortunately for his words saying, get us back to the Super Bowl and stuff, that didn't happen. Unfortunately, he gave it all he had. In that 2002 team, Mikey. But unfortunately, we had like the declining of Drew Bledsoe, right? Like that was it. If we were going to do anything, it would have been 2002. Drew Bledsoe got hurt in New England. He was already getting older at that stage, right? Like it was just his age.
There's a reason why Belichick turned the team over to Brady.
Exactly. It didn't go back to Bledsoe. Exactly. But Bledsoe was phenomenal in the beginning with New England. It's just he kind of football got to him. Football injuries and
years of abuse, Andrew Luck and a lot of these quarterbacks. If you don't have a good O line and your body only has so many hits,
right. Is 100% Mikey, and he's a big guy, man.
Yeah.
He was taking this, and he's a pocket passer. He was never a scrambler, right?
Scrambling what got him hurt.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. So he gave us all he had, and that 2002 team was phenomenal offensively. And that's why he made the list, because he really was. I mean, just what he did in the couple seasons he was here. I mean, look at that. So he's sixth all time. He was only with us a couple seasons. I mean, that's crazy to say, guys. So he put up some massive numbers early. He just faded out pretty quick. You know what I mean? So, but I love the man. I do. I got nothing but respect for him. That's another. I think BillsMafia don't really hate Drew Bledsoe. They don't really have anything bad to say about Drew. So, I think he earns a spot on here. Mikey, what do you think?
Yeah,
about Drew.
I think this is right around the place he should be sitting. He is sitting in the Bills records books high, and singles in record books. So you got to respect the man.
All right. Going on, Mikey, to number 85. Number 85, Al Bemiller. If I pronounce his name wrong, I'm sorry. Bemiller. I don't know.
Bemiller.
What Yeah, Bemiller.
Yeah. He played from 1961 to 1969. He was a center. He was an AFL All-Star in 1965. He started 125 of 126 games for the Bills. He's a second team member of the Pro Football Reference all-time AFL team.
By the way, Scotty, how dare you?
Me too, Scotty. I'm with you. I hated those uniforms.
How dare you talk about the uniforms of the 2002 team?
I hated those uniforms so much. Hated them so much.
These actually, I'll be honest with you, the home, I didn't mind. The away weren't the best, and I do have an away Eric Moles was the only one. But
those were white and the
yes, they weren't that bad. But these aren't that bad. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like these. But yeah, stop it, Scott. But yeah, go ahead, Mikey.
No, that was it. I don't have a lot about him. It was an older one. I couldn't find much more about him.
Yeah, 61 through 69.
Yeah.
Well before, but he has to be there, guys, because of what he did. AFL All-Star. I mean that like I said, once again, I wasn't back then, but if he made it, he also, what I like, started 125, 126. That's really good. That means that dude did not get hurt much. Second team member of Pro Football all-time AFL team. Listen, that dude was a football player, right? I mean, that's what we call him. So he deserves to be 85, and that's where he's at, guys.
Yeah.
So moving on, Mikey. Moving on to number 84. Number 84, Tony Green.
Tony Green played from 1971 to 1979. He was a safety, Pro Bowl selection in 1977, ranked second in the team history with 37 interceptions, had a pair of 9 interception seasons in 74 and 77. His 101-yard TD return against the Chiefs in 1976 is tied for the longest in Bills history with Taron Johnson.
Yes. Which, think about it. That stood for a long freaking time, Mikey. Like, that record was there for a minute, dude. So,
76 to 2020, right?
Right, yes. So, think about it, guys. Like, some records are tough. It's not even beaten. It's tied.
40,
so it's not like Teron.
What, that's 44 years, right? Something like that.
So, like, this dude was a baller. Made the Pro Bowl in 77. I did read a little bit about him. Tough dude, man. Tough guy. Laid some serious hits on people as well. So, really good player, and that's why he's at number 84. All right, Mikey, moving on. Number 83, my main man, Richie Incognito.
Richie Incognito played from 2015 2017 for the Bills. He was a guard, Pro Bowl selection in all 3 years, 15, 16, and 17. Helped anchor the interior for the top 5 rushing attack during his tenure. Matter of fact, 2 of the 3 years, the Bills were the top-ranked rushing team.
Damn real.
He was nasty. He was the enforcer on that O-line.
So I remember him real quick. I remember him when we got him from the Rams initially as like a trade. And then he left. He was only with us half the season or something like that. And I'm like, man, this guy is so mean, bro. This guy. And I remember already hearing about him, Mikey, like bad stuff like, oh, he had
that whole thing in Miami too.
No, this is before Miami. This is before Miami. So when he would play for the Rams initially, the whole thing on Richie was he's a dirty player on the field. Oh, dirty player. So I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna come in and be a bit, but he wasn't. The guy came. We traded for him. He was a dog. Then he left for Miami, Mikey, and that's when all that stuff came in with the rookie hazing and all that. But he was a dog in Miami. Buffalo, Rex Ryan came and wound up getting Richie, and we gave him an opportunity because all that had passed him. He already did his, suspension, all that crap. And Richie, I'm telling you guys, man, Richie came in, he did his work. LaShawn McCoy, Shady absolutely loves Richie.
So does Deion Dawkins.
Eric Wood, Deion Dawkins, they all love. I
don't know if you remember, but Deion Dawkins was drafted to be a guard. We moved to right tackle, and then Cody Glenn got hurt, so we moved him to left tackle. And Richie helped him out so much, he became our franchise left tackle.
Yep, exactly. I actually got some clips, Richie, Mikey. So.
Buffalo's running game was back in 2015. Perhaps the biggest reason was acquiring guard Richie Incognito.
I think Richie gets more pancakes than anybody I've seen. I see it sometimes like, how is he doing that?
Tom, it's just not fair how much talent some people have.
That's Richie for you.
Dude was a monster.
He was just a monster, man. And I remember in Deion in 2020, 2019. I remember he was like, get Richie back. Remember? He wanted Richie back. And
because it was in 2019, because the 2018 he left and Deion had his worst season as a Bill in 2018.
And he wanted that meanness, that he wanted that guy next to him again. And listen, Shady McCoy always says, man, I wouldn't have done what I did in Buffalo if it wasn't for this guy. Like, this guy made massive holes for me. And he was a good, listen, first, I understand he has issues, and he's actually done very well, by the way, guys, since he went to Las Vegas. But on the field, he was a good teammate. I heard nothing wrong about this guy. So, anything else on Richie, Mikey?
Nope.
All righty, going to number 82 now, Mikey. Number 82, Chris Kelsey.
Played from 2003 to 2012, defensive end. Played an entire 10-year career with the Bills, 147 games. Ranks 15th in team history with 32.5 sacks. Made 440 tackles, 3 interceptions, 8 forced fumbles, and 6 recoveries. He was a solid DN during the drought years. He was fantastic. He really was.
Oh, dude, he was a beast, man. I love Kelsey. Stayed with us 10 years. I mean, that's awesome. He got to the quarterback a lot. He was just a baller, man. And once again, another player that played on the drought years. Just it sucked. Like I feel bad for these guys, but he gave it all he's got. He stayed in Buffalo for a long time. He put up some very good numbers. And just, that's the kind of guy you want on your team, man. Like these are the players that you want today. Like these kind of players. So yeah, I got nothing respect for Chris Kelsey, and that's why he's number 82. All right, Mikey. Yeah, we're moving on to number 81. Number 81, Leonard Smith. Love the haircut, by the way.
Yeah, Leonard Smith, safety. Played from 1988 to 1991. Anchored the middle of the Bills' defense in the first 2 Super Bowl seasons. Had 8 interceptions and 60 career games with the Bills. Don't remember him all that much. But, looking up the stats, he still sits in a lot of the record books for the Bills, and he was that center fielder during the Super Bowl runs.
Yeah, he was more of a he was just a solid safety. He was also dude could hit. Very physical player. So I really like Leonard Smith's game. So with us a long time, got us to the first Super Bowl as well on that defense. So well deserved. That's why he's number 81 on this list. All right, Mikey, we're going to number 80 now. Number 80, Marcellus Wiley.
Marcellus Wiley played with the Bills from 97 to 2000 at DN, was second team All-Pro and Pro Bowl in 2001. And I added that stat in there because his 2000 season was as good, if not better, than his 2001 season. Started 19 of 64 games in his 4-year tenure, ranks 30th in team history with 19 sacks. He also created 6 turnovers in his Buffalo tenure. He actually didn't play early in his career in Buffalo. The first 2 years, he didn't get any run. His 3rd and 4th year, he blossomed, and then he went to San Diego and really took off. Had his best years in San Diego. But his 2000 year with Buffalo, he had the same numbers he had in 2001 when he made second team All-Pro in the Pro Bowl. He was just slighted that year. He was fantastic in 2000.
Yeah, 100%. He was a listen, just like Mikey said, he flourished a little bit when he left Buffalo, but he was a solid, overall solid player in the NFL, and he's a good guy, by the way, guys, too. Like I love his show. He does a lot of good takes. But as far as Buffalo Bills related, man, he deserves to be where he's at right now. Coming at 80. Number 79 coming in, Mikey. 79, Marcell Dareus.
Marcell Dareus played from 2011-2016 for the Bills at D tackle. He was first team All-Pro in 2014, 2-time Pro Bowl selections in 13 and 14. Ranks 12th in team history with 35 sacks. I did not realize he had so many sacks.
Yeah,
dude. That guy was a monster. He got paid and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. And I actually got a clip here for you guys for Bills Mafia on Marcell Dareus.
I always played a lot of old school music. And I just always like that song, Mr. Big Stuff. Mr. Big Stuff. And who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? And I used to always rock to it. You're never gonna get my love.
Marcell Dareus was in the backfield as soon as that ball was snapped and brought down the running back.
I really just like manhandling guys. After most of the plays, I throw old linemen to the ground. Just watching the surprising look on their face after I grab them and show them like we ain't going nowhere. They just shrug their shoulders like it's nothing I can do.
Big play by Marcell Dareus, doing a good job in the middle of that defense.
Way on the interior of that Bills defensive line. I mean, within nanoseconds, he got in there.
When you have that type of production from an interior defensive lineman where you can get pressure on the quarterback and also...
Yeah.
He was dominant,
listen.
man. He was early. He was so dominant.
That's why we paid him, Mikey. And it's too bad that, something happened. He declined, but
it wasn't even that he declined. He just, his drive wasn't there. He got his money and his drive wasn't there. And then we changed coaching staffs and he didn't fit the McDermott, culture.
But even when he left, though, Mikey, I think he went to Jacksonville after, if I'm not mistaken. He still wasn't at that level that Mikey left. I don't know what happened, Mikey. He still wasn't at the level that there you are, Mikey. He wasn't at the level where he was in Buffalo, right? Like, so I just think, like I said, some players, man, Mikey, I think they reach a certain part of their career where I think age catches up to him. Football age. You know what I mean? Like they say 30 is old.
He's productive in Jacksonville, and he's trying to make a comeback. I think he's trying to make a comeback this year. He wasn't the same guy.
Exactly. Like the early years with us before he got the contract, he was a beast, and that's why I think on that actually the top 100 where that little clip I played, he was like 50 something. That's pretty damn good. Like people understood he was a hell of a player. It just the contract came, and that's what happens sometimes when you give guys contracts. It's a coin toss. It really is sometimes, guys, and it sucks. It does, but it's the way it goes, man. And that's why I think, Mikey, people are sometimes worried about like the Poyer situation. Oh, he's 32, right? If you give a big contract,
they're waiting for that drop off.
What if What if the 33? He turns this age and he's not the same player. You know what I mean? Like it can happen.
It can, but I think it's different for safety.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like in any player,
running backs happen. They just fall off a cliff.
Running backs, forget about it. That's why you don't pay running backs, in my opinion. You just don't. You draft them and you move on.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mikey. So we're almost done, Mikey. By the way.
Yeah.
So
I saw that.
Yeah, man. So going on to number 78. Here we go. Number 78, Jim Dunaway.
Jim Dunaway played from 1963 to 1971. Defensive end. First team All AFL All Pro in 1966. Four-time AFL All-Star, ranks 22nd in team history with 22.5 sacks during an era that they didn't throw the ball. Tells you how dominant the guy truly was.
Correct.
Still ranks 22nd. He's still in top 25 of all-time Buffalo Bills in sacks, and he didn't play in a passing era.
Right, and it's just overall tough dude. Obviously, AFL All-Pro in 66. Four-time AFL All-Star, so basically like a pro bowler, right? We get to say he's a four-time Pro Bowler. And like Mikey said, 22nd in team history. I mean, and back then it was all mostly running. I mean, there wasn't the passing game back then.
He's tied with 22nd. There's a few guys that have.
Oh, sorry. But yeah. So just basically, it's just tough. Listen, any of these guys in this era are just tough dudes.
First team All AFL All Pro. The first time the All Pro was done, because before the All Pros it was just the All Stars, AFL All Stars.
Exactly.
And he was the first All Pro team. He made first team.
Yeah. So just a solid guy, man. All right, going to 77, Mikey. Number 77, Jason Peters.
Guy who I think should be higher on this list, but comes in at 77. Jason Peters played with the Bills from 2004 to 2008. He was a two-time second-team All-Pro selection in 07 and 08 for the Bills. Two-time Pro Bowl selection, 07 and 08. Future Hall of Famer. He has 6 All-Pros, 9 Pro Bowls, 1 Comeback Player of the Year selection.
I agree with
undrafted free agent tight end that the Bills turned into a left tackle and he's going to become a future Hall of Famer when he finally hangs it up.
I agree with you, and we talked about this before the show started on Jason Peters. He definitely, in my opinion, deserves to be a little higher on this list. Okay, not greatly higher, but definitely higher. We got him. We converted him from a tight end to a offensive lineman. I believe he made 2 Pro Bowls with us, if I'm not mistaken.
2 All-Pro, 2 Pro Bowls.
Yeah. And, he left for, one, because he didn't want to stick around with a bad team, and he wanted to get, contract. He wanted to get paid somewhere else. And we actually gave him a contract, but it was more about just leaving. It was a different direction he wanted to go, and I don't blame him, because now, look, guys, he's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
Man, imagine if we could have kept him around.
Oh my
God, and Richie, dude. And that offensive line, man.
He's still playing. he's like a free agent or somebody picked him up recently. Like he's still in the league, man. Like that speaks volume right there. The dude is still in the league, like at a very tough position where people get hurt all the time.
Oh, he was in the league, but he was hurt most of last year in Chicago.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, he's at the tail end. But
crazy that
Daniel
he's still
Gary
trying.
is right.
Yeah.
He comes in and says Jason Peter would be top 5, but his time in Buffalo was just too brief. So that's why he comes in at 77.
100%, and that's why me and Mikey, when we had all this list put together, a lot of these players, some of these they're where they're at because of the time in Buffalo and what they did elsewhere, right? Like Marcellus Wiley, for example, we were just talking about him. He did better with the Chargers, but he still made the list because he still had really good years, a couple good.
Yeah.
And same with Jason with Peters, though he had 2 solid seasons. Really, yeah, but he really did his work after. Like that's where he became like elite, right?
That's where he got his first team all pros and all that.
So
stuff. Yeah,
that's why maybe he's a little bit lower on this list, but I would have still had him a little higher. I don't know how much higher, but I definitely would have had him.
I mean, this is where it fit with the fan base. So
and that's
I can respect it. I can respect it.
That's 100% okay. And guys, here we go. Last but not least, Mikey, number 76, Charles Rooms.
Charles Rooms played from 1977 to 1986. He was a cornerback. He ranks 4th in team history with 28 interceptions. His 151 games are second most among defensive backs in team history. His 76-yard blocked kick return for TD is the second longest in team history as well. Before my time, I didn't, I was early. I was pretty young during those days, so I didn't, follow like I do now. So solid. Everything I read, he seemed to be pretty solid. Couldn't find much on him in like the way of videos or anything like that. But someone he's still even during those days, there was a lot of running still going on, and he had 28 interceptions.
Yeah,
that's
fourth team history.
I mean, granted, he played 151 games, but
he did. He longevity, boy.
Which means he stayed around and was good enough to be there for that long.
Solid player. Like I said, once again, another guy, old school guy that just was a tough football player. Like they don't make these guys often. Like a lot of NFL players now. They're not lasting this long in the league. These are just facts. So got to do that, stay around that long, and still be productive. Says a lot, especially in that era. Just a totally different era. So got to give him credit, and that's why he lands at 76.
Two things in the chat. One comes in. Brandon says, started watching football after I graduated. A lot of these guys were before my time. Wish I could have seen them play. Me too, buddy. And I wish they had the tapes out there so I could watch some of these guys.
Yeah.
And then Miles comes in and says, Flutie should be higher if it's based on career. It's not based on career. It's based on their time with the Bills. It's the reason why Jason Peters is at 77 and not higher. Because if it was based off his career, he'd be a lot higher than 77, as he's a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. No doubt about it. And Flutie's where he's at because, like Mikey said, he had a couple good seasons with us, and unfortunately,
he should have had more. He got screwed by the management.
That's all it was. And he would have made it higher on this list, in my opinion, because I think we would have got to more playoffs.
We would have got deeper in the playoffs too.
Deeper on that 1 year, and I think we would have got to a few
because after
more.
Buffalo, he went and played with San Diego for a while and a couple other teams, and did well there.
And everywhere he went, they loved him. Everywhere he went, he was electric.
And they won.
He did something.
And they won.
Yes. So 100% he would have been higher if management wouldn't have screwed him over.
And in a short time, he was fantastic. Buffalo Bill. He made the top 100 list. Could he have been higher? Yeah, you can argue that he could have been higher. But at the end of the day, that's kind of where we had. You want to put that back up and we'll do a quick recap?
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. My bad, Mikey.
That's all good. So quick recap. 100, Paul McGuire. 99, Ryan Fitzpatrick. 98, Ryan Lindell. 97, Aaron Williams. 96, Jay Rienzema. 95, Doug Flutie. 94, Mark Pike. 93, Josh Reid. 92, Tyrod Taylor. 91, Roscoe Parrish. 90, Andy Levitri. 89, Mario Clark. 88, Howard Ballard. 87, Peerless Price. 86, Drew Bledsoe. 85, Al B. Miller. 84, Tony Green. 83, Richie Incognito. 82, Chris Kelsey. 81, Leonard Smith. 80, Marcellus Wiley, 79, Marcellus Darius, 78, Jim Dunaway, 77, Jason Peters, 76, Charles Rome.
You definitely read that wrong.
Did I? Anyways, the names are there.
The numbers are wrong, but that's all right. I love Mikey.
It is what it is.
Mikey's been up since 3:30, man. Give
me a break. Give me a break.
So, guys, real quick. So that is the recap of the 100 through 76. So I do got to announce something real quick. Next week is July 4th. Me and Mikey will be taking July 4th off. So we will continue part 2 the following Monday, which will be what will be, Mikey? 75 through 51, correct?
Yes. 75 through 51 on the 11th.
On the 11th. So we will be back on the 11th, same time, 9 o'clock, 75 through 51. So I hope you guys tune in. I appreciate you guys, sticking around for an hour and 40 minutes. That's what I kind of projected, to be honest with you, Mikey. And that's not, honestly, our shows go
about this time anyways.
Right. So it's not like this is crazy for me and Mikey. This is what we do. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a lot of work, but it's fun, man. It really is.
And we loved that you guys came in and put your opinions in the chat.
100%.
Please come back and do some more. If some people feel other people should be higher. Daniel Gartington says Rome should have been higher. He's one of the best cornerbacks the Bills have had. You know what? You're probably right. You probably should have been higher. But at the end of the day,
and wait till you see the rest of the list, because when me and Mikey were doing this list, we said the same things until we got to the next part of the list. And we're like, damn, dude, we can't drop this guy because this guy did that.
It got difficult.
It's very tough, guys. You don't understand. Like 100 seems like a lot, but not really. Not when you're talking about from 1960 to 2022. Yeah. There's a lot of good talent that came through here, and it's tough to really mix and say who did what was better. This guy did this. This guy stuck around for longer, but this guy had more yards in 3 years than this guy, but yet this guy said 12 seasons. So it was a little difficult, but we made it work, and it's just an opinion. This is opinion based, and I hope you guys enjoyed it once again, and I appreciate everyone sticking in the chat. Miles, Connor, Scott Blakely, Daniel, anybody I'm missing, Mikey? Brandon.
Yeah.
And that's it, man.
Plenty of people. Hen Dog was in here.
And I appreciate, Justice, thank you for sticking around for a little bit. I know you had stuff to do. And Mikey, I appreciate you, brother. As always, I know that you are super tired.
It's all right.
Up at
it's fun time.
Damn a.m. talking to David Hasselhoff. And, get some sleep and some rest.
Scott, don't worry. Cookie is in there. You don't have to boycott us, buddy. And we appreciate everyone in the chat coming in. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. And we'll see you guys on the 11th.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
And look at him go. He could go all the way. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Go.
The Bills make me want to shout. Go Bills. Hey,
Go Bills.
happy July 4th, guys. Peace out.